Oh, cowabunga y'all. Captain Beard here. Today, I'll be doing something a little bit different. As you can see, I have my Teenage Mutant Ninja Squirtle shirt on, which means it's time for a crossover event. This time, I'm going to be talking about Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Easter eggs, references, and breaking it pretty much down for everything that you need to know that is all bearded. Let's get right into it. I'm going to be reading off of my phone. That's what, if it sounds a little bit like I'm reading, because there's so much. I literally jot it all down onto my phone. But I'll be having pictures, little stills, things from the movie throughout the video to illustrate the Easter egg, reference, or whatnot within this video, or that has happened within Batman versus Ninja Turtles. So first off, just want to say that this movie is the first Nickelodeon PG-13 film, animated film, which is crazy. Like, that's already a milestone for this franchise, let alone it being a crossover between Batman and Ninja Turtles. Like, who would have thought? But I digress, and then let's get right into it with the opening. There's a regular WB animated logo, followed by the Nickelodeon logo, and then it goes into the Worlds of DC little introduction. Then it opens up with a sky blimp, which is similar to the Batman animated series, where they would show the sky blimps in the sky at the beginning of most of the episodes. Powers Industrial is shown. You got Barbara Gordon as a reporter, similar to April O'Neil. Cool aspect with the Turtles, the foot, is when they are in the shadows. The foot eyes glow green, and their forehead turns red with their foot logo. The Turtles, their bandanas are shown to be their iconic colors, so that way you know who they are within when they're in the shadows or when it's smoky. When the foot ninja lowers sword down to Barbara Gordon, it reminds me of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 film when the foot ninja is talking to April O'Neil. Batgirl is reminiscent of the Batman animated series, and is also closer to the Batgirl Volume 4 that came out in 2014 design. Batman is on a gargoyle in his classic blue, gray, and yellow costume. The Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle logo is different than the cover, it being white instead of yellow, make it more like a comic book style, or more visually compared to the comic books that came out prior. You got the first issue within the whole comic book card sequence that is noir, black and white. You got the first issue of Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover, issue 1, in the newsstand or comic stand with the Gotham Register. Nickelodeon is seen on a billboard, reminiscent of many Nickelodeon openings, or similar to the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles opening, where it had the turtles on the billboard with the lights surrounding it, and then it shows Nickelodeon up on the corner. You got, going into the Batman's lair, you got the giant penny, you got the T-Rex, you got Batman drinking out of a Superman coffee mug, you got battering, smoke bombs, grappling gun, box for kryptonite. There's a box sitting up there. He calls turtles metahumans. The news is 52 news, just like how DC is New 52. There looks to be an anarchy symbol in the background. On the map that Donnie's holding up, shows Star Labs, Powers, LexCorp, and Wayne Enterprises. Turtles is in the pose, like in the 1990 film poster, with like the where they're holding up the sewer top with their head. Every single character suit up like they did in Batman Robin movie. Leo swords on right side like samurai, and blue wrap on like right in the front in the shape of an L. Possibly to show that he's a little leader, because he's the only one where his L is colored compared to the others. Raphael holds his size. Leonardo also has a lowercase L. Leonardo's is right in the center, while Raphael's little R symbol is towards his left side. Michelangelo's has regular nunchuck, pouch, regular. He also has an extra pouch where he puts his pizza, and then you can also see right in the center he also has an M that is not colored. Donatello also has a D on his waist strap, but it's more in like the style of a belt buckle. Version of the Batmobile, the closest I could find, is from the Batman Annual Volume 3, Issue 1, and the 1960s comics, and a little bit of The Dark Knight Returns is what that Batmobile looks like to me. You got Penguin's henchman that resembles Krang's android body, but for me, it looks really similar to the Dark Knight Returns mutant leader. You got a Penguin thug has a tattoo of anti-Batman symbol on his shoulder. You got Penguin's trick umbrella. Mikey saying, "We are aliens, bruh," making a joke at Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles, where it was rumored to be about aliens. The graffiti in the background are of people's names. I don't know what what the significance they are, but the ones I found were Carly, Lonnie, and then Fist, exclamation point. Chris Cameron, possibly people who worked on the film / comics. You got Shredder's costume, which is very reminiscent of the 1987 series. He even has a Shredder logo on his belt buckle as well. So all the turtle characters have their logo right on their belt buckle, which is really cool, or waist strap. The Turtles and the Batman fight next to the Batmobile is very panel by panel of the Batman Ninja Turtles crossover. In the pizza restaurant, there's a painting on the side, a vegetable painting like in the background, which kind of reminds me of Leatherhead when I first saw it, but it's just a vegetable. It could be like an nod to Leatherhead. I'm probably looking into that too much. Raphael says jerk in Halloween costume, which is similar to how thugs always call the turtles, saying that they're in Halloween costumes. The Ninja Vanish is very similar to the 2012 series. Baxter's already a fly, unlike most of the iterations where they have him as a human then turn into a fly, which is I thought was really cool that they already initiate that he exists in this world. When the Bat family is in the shadows or in smoky areas, their capes light up yellow, or their chest or their logo lights up yellow, or like boots. You have a TCRI canister, which is from the comics, or from the 1990 movie, it's TGRI. But I like how they have TCRI because that's how it's supposed to be. You got Mutant Army, pretty much like the Turtles Forever crossover that came out back in 2009, I believe. And you have like wolves coming from that and stuff. You got Green Street, Greene Street, which could be another nod to someone who works on comics or something. Mikey's whiteboard drawing is very similar to the comics. The drawing that Michelangelo draws on the whiteboard is very reminiscent to, or very parallel to the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book where he draws on the whiteboard as well. They find Batman's lair just like in the first issue of the comics. So in the Batcave, you have a set of Batman costumes. On the far right, you have the 1960s costume. You have the classic comic Batman suit. You have the animated Batman suit. You have the original concept when Batman had a red suit and blonde hair. And on the far left was his first appearance costume. Mikey is in the bat suit, which is going to be a Comic-Con exclusive figurine this year. You have Damian as Robin. Turtles can go into their shells. I just love that little. They can go into their shells just like the toy mechanics and such. Their father says that they got their names from the Renaissance book, or like he was really into Renaissance artists, which I thought was really cool because that's a big nod to Kevin Eastman and Peter Lorre's idea of how they came up with the turtles and everything. In the Arkham Asylum, you have the security guard is wearing an Arkham's Best Dad hat or mug, I think. Raish uses his hand to get into, and he's married, to get into the cells. Arkham Asylum villains appear. Mr. Freeze, Bane, with Teddy Bear, Scarecrow, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn in her classic costume later on. You got Joker in the shadows with red lipstick smile, which is really cool. Michelangelo's skateboard resembles a 2018 figure, or other turtle skateboards throughout any of the lines because they're all pretty much similar. In Bruce's mansion, you can see Bruce's parents, and then when Donatello's on the Batcave on the Bat computer, you can see Talia, Ubu, Lady Shiva, I think, Bronze Tiger, and then Sensei. You have the Sentushi Strike, Japanese style drawings. Then you have Splinter and Shredder fighting in New York or Japan, something like that. It's done. The art style is done to make it look like it's New York because you have the Statue of Liberty and everything. However, it's also done to make it look like feudal Japan. So I don't know if in this universe that New York and Japan are mixed, but it was just cool to see them show a Splinter and Shredder fighting on a rooftop, whether it's just still or not. You got the turtles not eating the pizza without napkins. Then you have Michelangelo say Master Alfred, which could be a reference to the current Batman Ninja Turtles crossover that's going on currently, where they're all kind of mixed up. Like you have Splinter and Alfred into one character. But within that scene too, you have the turtles go for replying to Alfred about napkins, goes for what, which is a reference to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze. You have the bat signal. You have Joker say, dear mommy Joker, who I had killed, which is reminiscent to the many backstories that he has, that because he likes to have it be multiple choice, as it is revealed in The Killing Joke. Then you have all four turtles saying their names when they're on the rooftop, when they're talking to Commissioner Gordon, which is pretty funny because that's how it is in every single iteration. Sometimes they switch up the order of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or they keep it the same. Then you have Mikey just sticking around just to scare him off. That was funny to me. Then you have the whole the whole turtles running into Arkham Asylum is very reminiscent to the Arkham Asylum video game, where they fight each of the villains within their own environments or habitats. Because you have Dr. Harley Quinn in her classic costume turn into a hyena. You have Mr. Freeze turns into a polar bear and uses freeze puns like he does in the Batman Robin movie film, or is it Batman Forever? One of those two. You got Scarecrow turning into a crow. You got Bane turning into a jaguar and tries to break Donatello's back like he does in the Batman comics. He breaks Batman's back. In this, he's unable to because Donatello's a turtle You got Two-Face, who turns into a two-headed cat. You have the Joker, who turns into a python. Poison Ivy, who turns into pretty much Snakeweed from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 series, which I thought was really funny, and she can't move. So that was a good gag. Then you have Batman turns into a bat himself, which is very reminiscent to the Nightmare Batman comics, or any like Nightmare scene with Batman, or any of the statues that have come out with Batman. You have a reference to Bloodhaven, which is when they're talking about what the villains are doing, which is a reference to Nightwing, because Bloodhaven is where Nightwing resigns. You got Ace Chemicals, where Joker became the Joker, of course. Then you have the Batmobile and the Turtlemobile race to the headquarters, and the Turtlemobile is actually a Winnebago, which I thought was great. Like, instead of doing like the RV, instead of doing the bus or any of the other styles that they've done, they made it into a Winnebago, which is kind of cool. And it was like very reminiscent to the 1987 series vehicle, but with this one they were able to change it. It's a Winnebago. And then you have on it, with just that mobile alone, there's an anti-foot symbol on the front, on the wheel cover. You have the calendar that's displayed in the background is set to April, which is a reference to April O'Neil. Then the license plate is turtle wax. I think it was a great pun. You have Donatello within the fight sequence say Bossa Nova, like he does in the 1990s movie. He also the Winnebago also shoots out cereal lids, just like in the 2004 film, or Michael Bay film. You have a foot that turns into a pigeon, possibly a reference to Pigeon Pete. You have a mutant elephant, possibly a reference to Dr. L. The Cloud Seeker that they're all trying to get to looks like the Technodrome's eyeball, or it could also be a reference to Professor Oho, who is part of the League of Assassins or League of Shadows within the Batman universe. So that's another double one. Leo uses Splinter's pressure points and announces that he's 16, just like in the 2012 series, where he kind of pretty much says, like, he uses every technique that he has from Splinter and everything, or any other iteration, but 2012 is the most recent series I've seen. Splinter has a scratch mark right on his lip, just like in the 1990s film, where Splinter cuts him because he's a rat and everything, and he kills his master and everything. Mikey says Don does a machine, and he's a party dude, while he's on the Cloud Seeder, which is a reference to the 1987's opening. And there's also another scene where Michelangelo is using his nunchucks to deflect Mr. Freeze's gun. Yeah, to deflect Mr. Freeze's gun, and that's also reminiscent to the 1987 opening or theme song. You have the Batgirl says that she's Oracle online, which is a reference to who she's going to become when she's in her wheelchair. And then the end credits, not scene, but the end credits. There's a bunch of comic books, and I did my research to figure out which comic that comic is based off of and what they put into it and everything. Here we go with what they were. The first one is Batman #1. You have Batman and the Brave and the Bold, number 111, DC Comics, 1974, Batman the Joker. You have Batgirl 35 from the New 52. You have the Brave and the Bold presents Kid Flash, Aqualad, and Robin, number 54. Batman 244, The Demon Lives Again. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 2. Batman Hunt, The Dark Knight. Batman and the Outsiders number 1. Justice League of America volume 1, issue 21. 1980s DC superpowers, I mean. Batman Special All Villain issue. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Leonardo issue 1. Detective Comics number 38. Batman Year 1 Part 4. Batman 183, 1966. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Donatello issue 1. And Batman's first appearance mixed together. Yeah, Detective Comics 251. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael issue 1. Batman DC Treasury Edition 25. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Michelangelo issue 1. Brave and the Bold 28. Justice League of America. Tales of the TMNT number 5. Batman the Cult Book 1. TMNT issue 10. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first issue or first cover. And some of the hardest ones, some of these were like super hard. Like the Superpowers issue was really hard for me. And then Detective Comics number 251 was also really hard for me. Like those took me like 20 minutes to find. But a lot of these I either remembered because I've read most of the Ninja Turtle comics, so I like knew which ones they were and everything. But a lot of the Batman or Justice League ones, I knew about half of them, but the other ones were very obscure that I've never been able to read or never even heard about, and now that I have, it's really cool. And then you have the post-credit scene where you have the Shredder turns into the Joker, and he's just laughing, which is just great. Then there's some other things that I noticed after watching the film, like watching it the second time. You got Mikey's bandana when it's in the smoke or in the shadows. Sometimes it goes more yellow than it is orange. Possibly reminiscent of the arcade art that was on the arcade machines. The manhole cover exploding at the very beginning is very reminiscent to the 1987 series opening or any of the other Ninja Turtles openings. Raphael's bike is pretty much Metalhead. Like if you look at it on the side, it looks like Metalhead that he's driving, which is pretty cool. A foot soldier a ninja foot is thrown into the screen like in the arcade game. During one of the fight scenes, Raphael actually says, Hey creature, leave that kid alone," to Mr. Freeze, which is pretty much a reference to Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall song, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so if you like this video, please leave a comment down below, leave a like, ring that bell, and let me know if there's anything I have missed within this Easter egg video reference video. It will help me out a lot. Plus, I think it would be cool to talk to more people about this amazing film. So, yeah, please leave everything down in the comments below of further Easter eggs or further discussions of anything all Batman Ninja Turtle related. And without further ado, feel the beard and deuces.